Okay, at the end of the last video, I was explaining how to select that text. So just keep that in mind. Very important advanced technique. Now, let's move on. What if I wanted to select an entire paragraph? So the default way to do that, the long way to do that, would be to rest your mouse in front of the paragraph that you want to select, click and hold your click and drag, and I'm going to drag diagonally. So notice my mouse is going diagonally. That's going to make it a whole lot easier to drag, but I'm still dragging. Okay, dragging, it could be tedious, it's error prone, there are problems. Okay, if you have to drag, then no problem. I mean, you could do it, but there's other quicker ways to select an entire paragraph of text. All right, so once again, let's just try doing that again. If I rest my mouse in front of the paragraph, I'm going to click and hold my click, and I'm going to drag, diagonally downward so I can start. That'll help me to select quicker the entire paragraph. A lot of people, what I see them do is I say, okay, go ahead and select that paragraph, and then they'll go all the way this way, and they'll, do that. But what you want to do is you kind of want to make a diagonal line, a diagonal movement toward the period of the last paragraph. So let me just mark that for you when you're selecting a paragraph. So when you're selecting a paragraph, you want to drag excuse me, diagonally. So from the start to where the period is. That's how you want to drag your mouse to select the text. Okay, you don't want to, you can drag it this way and then go down, but then if you drag it all the way across the first line and then you're dragging it downward, you still kind of got to go back this way to kind of finish it off where the period is. So what you want to do is when you're selecting the paragraph, you want to rest your mouse at the beginning of the paragraph, click and hold, and then drag diagonally to the period. And that's going to help you to easily select the text. So let's just take a look at that. Let me move that out. All right. So if I rest my mouse, I'm going to rest my mouse right here, right in front of the paragraph. I'm going to click and hold my click, and I'm going to drag diagonally to this period. If you notice, I never went all the way over here. I didn't bother with things over here. I dragged from here and I attempted to go diagonally here. Now I'm using a laptop with this mouse pad. Very difficult to use this, All right, so that's the traditional way of selecting an entire paragraph. Now, the shortcut way to to select a paragraph is to rest your mouse in the selection bar and double click. Boom. Now the paragraph is selected. You see how easy that was? So let me deselect. I'm going to click over here. Okay, and let's do that one more time. The shortcut way to select an entire paragraph is coming over to the selection bar, resting your mouse on top of the selection bar, and double click. So click, click, and notice the whole paragraph is selected. Okay, now in terms of having the keyboard, for differentiation purposes, there honestly isn't a shortcut way to select using the keyboard. But since I do want you to get into the habit of using the keyboard, let's go ahead and use the keyboard. So I want to select this paragraph. I'm going to use my navigation arrows to move my cursor in front of the paragraph that I want to select. All right, I'm going to hold the shift button down and I'm going to use my navigation arrows. I'm using the down arrow. Okay, and there now my text is selected. I'm going to do that one more time so you can see that. Let me deselect my text. All right, so right now we're selecting this first paragraph up here with the keyboard. So we're selecting the paragraph using the keyboard. The first thing that I want to do is use my navigation arrows to move the cursor to the beginning of the paragraph. Then I want to hold shift, and then I want to press the down navigation arrow. I'm pressing down once, pressing down twice, and pressing the down navigation arrow and letting go of shift now. And now you can see the paragraph is very easily selected. Now, even though this is not as short as just double clicking with the mouse, it's still shorter than dragging and, clicking and holding and dragging. Okay, so if you missed any of that, please rewind the video. If you have any other questions, you can definitely ask me during class if you need support with that. But definitely go back and watch the video. But to save time, we're going to move on to the next method. Okay, let's talk about selecting the entire document now. So, same deal as before. We can select the entire document by clicking and dragging. So I'm going to rest my mouse here in front of the first word in the document, and I'm going to click and hold my click, and I'm going to drag downward, okay, until I get to the bottom, and I'm going to stop right here and release my click. All right, now that just happens to be my entire document. If we come up and let me zoom out a little bit, we can see here that the entire document now has been selected. Now, if we come over here, and let me just bring your attention over here. If we come over here and we look at our page number, we see we only have one page. But what happens if the document is 100 pages? How would you select the entire document now? Technically speaking, you could do the same procedure. Rest your mouse at the top of the document, click and hold your click, and drag down. But to drag down 100 pages, that's going to be tedious, difficult, inefficient, and just flat out torturous. So if you want to select an entire document, this is what we want to do. Okay, so we want to rest our mouse, and let me just come over here. You want to rest your mouse anywhere in the selection bar. Okay, so anywhere in this selection bar here. And I'm going to triple click the selection bar. So I'm going to go click, click, click. Oh, hold on. Sometimes it just takes a second. I don't think my mouse was positioned correctly. All right, here we go. Let's try that one more time. Rest my mouse in the selection bar and triple click. So you're going to click 3 times. Click, click, click. And there you have it. The whole entire document has been selected. If it was 100 pages, it would be 100 pages selected. If it was 50 pages, it would be 50 pages selected. In this case, we only have 1 page. So yes, the whole entire 1 page of the document was selected. Okay, let's try that and take a look at that one more time. Okay, now in step 1, rest your mouse on the selection bar. Step 2, triple click the selection bar to select the entire document. So triple click, 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 and here we have it. The whole entire document is selected. Now, for differentiation purposes, there is another way to do it with the keyboard. If we want to select the entire document, let me deselect. If I want to select the entire document with the keyboard, what I need to do is hold down the Control button and tap the letter A. And just like that, we have the entire document selected. Okay, so that's about it. Now, I want to get to a few extra advanced topics here. Okay, this one is like a bonus. These are bonuses of understanding. Okay, first things first, let me just clear some things up. Let me zoom in here. Let me zoom in over here. All right, so if you remember earlier, when we clicked one time on the selection bar at the line or in line with the line that we want to select, then it selects the line. Okay, so if I click, you see it selects the line. Now, there's also a way to click and drag. And what that will do is select multiple lines. So let me deselect to show you what I mean. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to click, hold my click, and drag downward. Notice now I'm holding my click and I'm dragging downward, and now I'm selecting line by line. Okay? Just a little bit of a bonus understanding there. Let's do that one more time. All right, so again, let's say I wanted to select more than one line. All right, maybe 2 lines, maybe 3 lines, maybe even the entire paragraph. I can use this method also to select the entire paragraph if I want to. Okay, maybe multiple paragraphs, multiple lines. Okay, so if I want to select more than one line, what I want to do is click at the first line that I want to include in my selection. So I'm going to click, hold my click down, holding my left click down, and I'm going to drag downward down the selection bar. I'm dragging down the selection bar, and I'm able to select on a line by line basis now. All right, so I'm resting my mouse on the selection bar, clicking and holding down my click while on the selection bar, and dragging down the selection bar is how I'm selecting now line by line. All right, let's do that one more time. Let me deselect. I'm going to click the line that I want to select. That I want to include in my selection. So I'm going to click the line and hold down my click and drag downward. Notice how I'm selecting line by line. All right, if you need, you can rewind the video if you need to hear that again. I'm going to move on. Now the question is, can I do that with paragraphs? Yes, you can. All right, so if I want to select on a paragraph by paragraph basis, what I need to do now is rest my mouse first in the paragraph that I want to include in my selection, and then drag down. So how do we select paragraphs? If you remember, we double click the selection bar. That's how we select paragraphs. But now we want to select more than one paragraph. All right, we don't want to just select one paragraph. We want to select maybe 2 or 3. So the way that we do that, if I go and double click, all right, hold down your click. Don't be fooled. I know you see that it's only one line selected. Don't worry, one line is selected. Don't worry. Watch when I start to move my mouse pointer down the selection bar. As I begin to move my mouse down the selection bar, you see the whole paragraph automatically get selected. Now I'm going to continue to move my mouse pointer down the selection bar to the next paragraph. Notice that it selects the next paragraph. All right, and I'm going to continue to move my mouse pointer down the selection bar. All right, and I am now effectively selecting on a paragraph by paragraph basis. All right, so I'm selecting more than one paragraph. All right, so I hope that we understand those two advanced understandings there. All right, so let's do that one more time. How do I select more than one paragraph using the selection bar? Well, I need to go over to the selection bar, rest my mouse in the selection bar, double click. Okay, that activates the paragraph selection. And then I need to start to move my mouse pointer down the selection bar, and I need to go to each paragraph that I want to select. All right, if you missed any of that, definitely rewind the video, keep going through it. We can also have a discussion about it. You know, I'm here to support you. All right, so we're gonna move on to a bonus video. That's next.